Hi, this is Isaac, and today we're going to talk about how to set up the post-install configuration of the Webmin control panel. Typically, this is the first thing that we're going to do after receiving our new dedicated server information from our hosting provider. Many hosting providers include Webmin as an option, sometimes for free, sometimes they actually charge for it, at www.cheapdedicatedservers.biz. We offer dedicated servers, and all of our Linux dedicated servers have the option of including Webmin pre-installed at no additional charge. They're actually also pre-configured, but the post-install configuration that we're going to discuss now is typically something that we're going to want to do regardless of whether the hosting provider set it up for us or not, because there are some things that the hosting provider just can't know because they're just too business specific for you. There are some things that are security related that we just want to change. One of the things that we do is in our opening letter, we immediately, when we tell you your initial username and password, we mention, the first thing that you're going to want to do is immediately log in and change this password to keep it secure. Now, a lot of people aren't using our dedicated servers and don't have Webmin pre-installed, so that's pretty easy to do. You can go to www.webmin.com, and here's all the information that you can need to get it downloaded and set up. There are different downloads for the various types of server that you have. Webmin only works on Linux servers. It won't work on Windows servers. And we have more detailed instructions on how to set up Webmin if you don't have it pre-installed in the dedicated servers handbook for beginners, which you can get from www.thededicatedserverhandbook.com. You could also find information on our site at www.cheapdedicatedservers.biz. That's the site that was on the window a few moments ago. So enough about how to get Webmin set up. Now we're going to assume that you have Webmin set up. What are the first steps that you have to do? So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take the IP address that was given to us in our welcome email and the port. Normally, you're going to want to go to port 10,000, and I've got here a server that is an initial setup, pretty much the same way you'd have it initially set up at cheapdedicatedservers.biz. My IP address is 192.168.2.55, and we're going to go to port 10,000 as we were instructed. The next thing that you're usually going to run into, especially in Internet Explorer 7, which I'm using here specifically to show you errors like this, is a problem with the security certificate. Firefox and Mozilla-based browsers will have a slightly different error, but the idea is the same. Now, the reason that you're getting this error is not because there is any problem with the secure communication channel that was created with the server. Quite the opposite. All communications at this point, the moment you get this dialog, there will be secure communication. What this error is really trying to tell you is not that your data is not encrypted, but rather that there's a problem with the trust on the certificate. And if you look at the reasons that it says, the security certificate presented by this website was not issued by a trusted certificate authority, and the security certificate presented was issued for a different website's address. Security certificate problems may indicate an attempt to fool you or intercept any data you sent to the server. So why is it saying this? Well, the first things first, the security certificate presented is not issued by a trusted certificate authority. Now, many of you who've worked with e-commerce sites know that a certificate costs a given amount of money per year. It could be anywhere from $15, and you can check that out by going to ssl.cheapdedicatedservers.biz, which will go to GoDaddy, and if you use that link, you'll actually be eligible to get $15 a year for their basic SSL plan rather than the normal $20 a year. And it could go all the way up to $700 or even $1,000 a year for those new certificates. They're called extended validation certificates. That'll give you that nice little green bar up here on the top, and they'll tell you all sorts of things. But the point is that they all cost something, and your hosting provider is not going to, take money out and get one of you just for your Webmin server, and they shouldn't, especially because what you want, which is the encryption, is already there. So that's why the first error shows up. The second error shows up is similar. It says it's issued for a different website address. Now, even if your hosting provider would be generous enough to get you a certificate, it would pretty much be a waste of money because the website that you type in on top has to exactly match the address that you put into that certificate. And there's no way that your hosting provider can know in advance exactly what you're going to set up. So that's why there is no trusted certificate that's there, that's pre-installed. There is a untrusted certificate, which is what is actually there and generating this error, because if there was no certificate, we wouldn't even be getting this error. And that untrusted certificate is more than enough to encrypt our data the first time. It's kind of like having the root password sent to you in your email. And we're going to deal with that just like we're going to deal with changing the passwords momentarily. So we're going to continue to this website, even though Internet Explorer thinks that it's not recommended. We're going to log in now. If you get this screen, it means Webmin is installed. If you get any of these screens, the three screens that we just saw, Webmin is installed. If you don't get one of these screens, it could either mean that Webmin is running on a different port, and you'll have to consult the email that you got from your service provider, and the other option is that it's just not installed, in which case you're going to have to install it yourself. So we're going to log in now with the initial username and password that we got from our ISP. In this case, it's just user. So at this point, we're logged into a brand new system, and we are at the main menu inside Webmin. Now, most of the things that we're going to do today are part of the Webmin configuration. So we're going to click on the left side menu on Webmin, and then on Webmin configuration. This is the main menu of all the Webmin configuration options. The first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we're running the most up-to-date version of Webmin out there for maximum security and maximum flexibility as far as what Webmin is capable of doing. So we're going to click on Upgrade Webmin. And depending on the version of Webmin that you have pre-installed, you may see different options here. You will almost certainly get an outdated version of Webmin installed on your server because Webmin is completely changing, and there's no way to make sure that you're completely up to date. So you'll want to upgrade to the latest version from www.webmin.com. You might have a slightly different screen than the one that we have displayed here, and that's fine. The only thing that's worth mentioning is that if you have a checkbox saying that you want to delete the old version, that might be worth doing just to clean up. And if you have a checkbox saying verify package signature, which it'll offer if it can, if there is a signature to verify, that would be worth doing. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade Webmin to the latest version. This could actually take a while. It depends on your ISP connection, and also it's dependent on Webmin's ability to locate the nearest upgrade server to where you are, and their ability to connect to the Webmin website. And here it goes. It's downloading. And here we go. The system has finished downloading it, and it is now using the system's package manager